You ever have those periods of time where life just lifes, where things just get overwhelming and busy, and things just sort of start to fall to the wayside, and just when you start to think that maybe things are going to settle, life decides to throw such massive curveballs at you that you're now not only dealing with all of those feelings, but you're now also processing and grieving. That has very much been the last 5 months for me, and a very big part of why I have been absent for a while. But we're here, we're back. I don't have the spoons to put a face on today, so we're just doing it no face. I am post work. We're getting through it. We're getting through it. There will be life updates, but I will keep them to the end. We're going to go through some finishes. We're going to go through some whip progress from what I can remember I've worked on. And there will be some haul as well. I'll talk about a retreat that I went to, and just a few other bits and pieces. But for those of you who are new, my name is Gothy, or Raven, either is fine. My pronouns are they, them, and I am a disabled stitcher from the east side of Australia. Yes, east. East. That is the direction. Oh, okay. So, I have 6 finishes from the last 5 months, one of them being a small full coverage, but we do have 6 finishes. So I'm going to start with those, just because that's what I've pulled out first. So the first one is a handbag project. The fabric is going to wash out because it is a very light colour. It is I don't think I have it written down here. I'd have to find it. I believe that it's an old map colouring from Colour Cascades. So it's in real life it's kind of like a mix of beige and a dark beige gold colour. And it's really nice. But this is the Beware of Dog mosaic. This was a Patreon pattern. Why is my camera not focusing? Come on. Can we... There we go. So this one is Beware of Dog. This was a Patreon chart by Night Spirit Studio, who we unfortunately have also lost, which really fucking sucks. But we have finished this one. This was my handbag project, so this has been stitched a lot on like trains and stuff like that. So I don't have like a time frame of how long it took me to stitch. It was my on the go project. So another one, this was a start and finish. And this is on a 20 count. I'm just going to see if I have the fabric. This is a Lucky Dip ice dye. So it's going to wash out. In the last 5 months, I've upgraded my computer. So all of my old settings and stuff like that have gone. And they've updated OBS, so it now doesn't work the same way that it used to, and that's what I used to record. So all of my lighting setup and everything like that is just all over the place and stuff at the moment. So it's washing everything out. It is really annoying. I'm going to see if that helps any. But we have a Sailor Moon cross stitch, so there's a couple of the Sailor ones. The fabric is kind of like a mottled pastel purple with some blues and yellows and pinks thrown in there. It's a Lucky Dip ice dye. It is a 20 count from Colour Cascades. And the pattern is I think it's called the Magical Girl one. And it's by Colour Fleecera. They'll all be linked below. But that was a start and finish. I just got really into it. And then my next finish Again, like, the placement on some of these where I've started them, not the best, because I could have probably got like 2 projects on here, for example. But this one is a 18 count. This is a piece of Storms by Color Cascade. It's a little darker than what it shows. It shows very white, but it's quite dark. And this is a Edgar Allan Poe themed project. So home is where the heart beats beneath the floorboards. And this one is by Black Walt Stitching. All stitched in DMC because I stitch in DMC. And that one I started that one in April and I finished that in November. The Sailor Moon I started in November and finished in November. So my next finish is one of the ones that has taken me many years. We finished the Dimensions Wolf kit. That is washing out some of the background there a little. So this is the small full coverage. This is done with all of the kit flosses on the Kit Aider. Do not recommend. The Kit Aider is terrible. It's a Dimensions Gold kit. And look, I did French knots. There is one French knot in there that I do not want anyone to look at, and I considered covering it, but we have a finish. I did all of the stitching. I did all of the French knots, the backstitch, all of it. It is done. I did purposefully vary the sizes of the French knots. They look quite massive. Where I was holding it up, they don't look quite so massive in person, but it's done. I didn't expect to get this done, and I finished it in... Did I... do I have... Okay, so I finished this on the 8th of December, around the 8th of December. And I didn't expect to finish it. Like, I picked it up and I was intending to just do this ear. And I'll have a photo up of where it was the last time you would have seen it. But I'd essentially done, like, across here. And there were a few stitches around here that hadn't been done. So I filled in this little section, I did the ear, and then I just kept going. And I kept going, and I kept going, and now it is done. So I don't have to look at it again. I'm just watching Arthas in the background. So then these 2 finishes, I finished technically yesterday, slash this morning. I've just gotten back from a trip to Melbourne, where I spent a week with my best friend. And during that time, you know, she was doing some gaming, and I was stitching, or like we were watching a movie and I was stitching, you know, stuff like that. So I did the bulk of the stitching on these projects while I was in Melbourne with my bestie. However, for this one, I didn't bring one of the colours with me. I hadn't noticed. So the bottom one, the light pink in the mouth, I had forgotten to bring that colour. It's 3326. But everything else I did in Melbourne, so this one I finished off this morning, like 1 o'clock in the morning, because I don't sleep. And it's a scrap piece of Ada left over. It's a fabric flare piece that I think I got off eBay, or I got it from Color Cascade back in the day. I've had it in my stash for ages. It's I want to say it's a 14 count. It might be 16. See, did I measure it when I... Yeah, 14 count. Yeah. So I started this September 27th, 2024. And I finished it, like I said, like this morning. So this is the Vampy... I'm gonna slaughter the way to say this. I've never actually heard this word said. I really have seen it spelt. Vampy vignette? 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 I don't know. But this is by Noctiflora Designs. And this is really cute. I really like it. And the little staked hearts that are bleeding all over the place. It's very cute. It's very different. And then the other one that I finished, again, did the bulk of stitching while I was in Melbourne with my bestie. Finished off the cross stitching on the train back because I took the train to and from Melbourne this time. Because I wanted to compare traveling on the train to flying with a powered wheelchair. So much less anxiety. Gets a little bit uncomfy around the 11-hour mark, about the 10-11-hour mark. But not horribly so, and nowhere near as much as I have with flying, even though I've only flown, like, the most I've ever flown is like 4 hours, so much easier than flying. Just a bigger chunk of time that I lose from the actual travel time and stuff. But otherwise it was fine, except I did get, because of Christmas and everything, I had to travel at night. Presents a problem when everybody else on the cabin goes to bed. And everybody else got the lights out, nobody else is up, and I'm just sitting there like a goblin at 2 o'clock in the morning. I have my little grime guard wrapped around my little LED light that I use for stitching because it's very bright, and I've got it like wrapped around to diffuse the light so it's not disrupting everyone else in the cabin. But yeah, and jump scaring the staff because they would walk in past me expecting everyone to be asleep, because like they go and they wake up specific people for specific stops, and they would walk in and I would look up because all of a sudden like there's a person moving around, and I would jump scare them because I've just got like this little light and they're stitching in front of me, and they're just fuck. Yeah. So I didn't want to backstitch in the dark because this is on dark fabric, and it was difficult enough to get the stitching done. But we have the autumnal ghosts. This is by Mama Witch X Stitch on Etsy. This is a piece of 18 count Blackbird by Color Cascade Fabrics. So it's showing a little lighter than it is in real life. It's a tiny bit darker, but it's very cute. And I do also have like a finish from a while ago. This little ghost on the toilet on his phone, which is very cute. Yeah. So those are finished. I did the back stitch this morning. Just some like swirly bits and stuff. I really like them. They turned out really good. And I've got a little space here for another little ghosty at some point. So those are my finishes. I am now going to try and work out which projects I've actually worked on, because I have not been, probably not surprised, I have not been keeping up with filling in my book of tracking. I had to clean this. There's something sticky on there. That's not great. To the point where I've already bookmarked it over to 2026 because like I already know. All of the life stuff happened and I was just like, it's just not, I am not going to be able to track everything and continue to keep track of things. Oh yeah, so there we go. The last thing I filled in was October 1st, which was finishing the Sailor Moon project, which I started on the 18th of September. Okay, so slight change of plans because I cannot determine what whips I've touched in the last 5 months outside of the ones that I finished, with the exception of 2. And I say as I hold up 4 fingers. So, retreat. I went to a retreat. I went to the Stitching the Mountains retreat, put on by Paddock Lane Designs and Mojo stitches. It was really good. They had a new venue that was a little bit more wheelchair friendly. Still not 100% accessible, so it was definitely still a manual chair kind of deal. And I did still have to do some walking and stuff, but overall, a much better experience, and I stayed in the actual venue this time. So that was really nice. I especially loved that they had TV, like they have TVs in the rooms, and the TVs had like this instead of having like Foxtel or like free to air TV and stuff like that, it had like LG channels. And on those LG channels, there were 3 separate ghost hunting channels. So anytime that I was in the hotel room, I had ghost hunting playing the whole time, which was great for me. But I enjoyed myself. It was really good. I got to meet new people. I actually had table gifts this time because Andrew helped me 3D print some stuff that I can hand out to people. And that was really nice. And it was also just good because it gave me a bit of a break from all of the life stuff and the grief, which I think was very much needed. And I don't think I'd realized how much I needed that. So that was really nice. While I was there, I worked on the Autumn Ghosts. I'm pretty sure I worked on the Noctiflora, Vampy one, and I worked on my Long Dog. So this is, I'm stitching this on 20 count. Yes, 20 count. I believe the colorway is At Last. I will double check. Yes, At Last 20 count, which is by Color Cascade Fabrics. I'm stitching it in a Silks for You silk, and it is a random mystery bag one, and it is dark red orange shift to yellow with some actual orange in there. And I did a bunch of stitches that I didn't track. I didn't write it down anywhere. That is where we are up to. I will put a photo of where I was last time. Oh, I need to sort this lighting situation out. It is a bit of a time, but yeah, that is Flirtation by Long Dog Samplers. It's one of the small one, the Picadillos. I'm having trouble because I want to pick 2 bigger long dogs, but I want them to be roughly the same size. I have a piece of fabric in mind for one, and then I have a floss in mind for the other. And I want to get 2 that are kind of matching, or at least like they look like they could be matching, so that I can do them sort of opposite. Basically, I have a fabric that I got from the States last year. This is gorgeous, vibrant green. And I want to do one on that in black floss. Or like a variegated black floss. And then I've got the same fabric color but in a floss, and I want to do one on black fabric or a black variegated fabric in the green floss as well. So I want them to kind of be, the same size, and I want them to be kind of matching. But I'm having trouble picking 2 of the sort of larger ones that are matching. And I'm still very new to like sampler style stitching. So if you have recommendations for like 2 samplers, if they're Long Dogs or other brands, that would kind of work in that green and black, that are kind of matching, same size, I would be more than happy to get those recommendations. But while I was at the, that is haul, I found a bunch of haul. While I was at the, I realized I could have pulled a bookmark out. Fine. At the retreat, I bought a lot of stuff. I also started some new things. One of them has been finished. It was the retreat project. I've got the little thing here. it is a little stitched bookmark. It's in the plastic still, but like you stitch this part on Ada, and then you can use like scrap fabric to do this, and you slip it over the corner of the book. I started that one and I finished it, and I did the finishing class, which happened at the retreat, so that's with Mojo Stitches. And then I also started and finished stitching up the letters to do these, which is like a little ornament. I've given the ornament away. It was part of my Kris Kringle for my bestie, because when I went to see my bestie and spend the week with her, her family also adopted me for Christmas, and I got pulled into Kris Kringle, so I did that as well. But I started a new project, and I don't have the thing out in easy reach, do I? No. So I've started the In the Library sampler by Mojo Stitches. I'm stitching this on... Where is my info? The fabric is an 18 count, the colorway Night by Paddock Lane Designs, and I'm stitching this in the called for Cottage Garden threads because I got it all as a little kit at last year's retreat. So this is where I'm up to now. The Needleminder Little Voodoo Dolls from Ginger Stitches AU, and the Grime Guard is from Cookie's Handmaids on Etsy, and it's got jellyfish and stuff on it. I like jellyfish, so yeah. But that's where I'm up to. I haven't touched that since I've been back. But I started that at the retreat. So that's basically all I can remember touching. I think I did like 300 stitches on Phantom of the Opera as well, but it just looks like a little blob of beige. It doesn't look like much at the moment, so I don't want to pull that out just yet. And I haven't really touched anything else. I'm hoping to. There is some stuff that's going to happen next year. I'm not doing WIPGO again next year, but I'll talk about plans. But we can go into haul. So most of this haul is stuff that I got at the retreat. I very much love that Lisa from Paddock Lane, she did the she got some patterns from the needlework marketplace, and she basically just like, oh, just, you know, I'm grabbing these ones because these are pre-ordered, but I'm also just going to grab a couple of random ones of this and a couple of random ones of this. I'm so glad she did, because she got a whole bunch of spooky ones that I was able to get. So I have Ghost Stories by Flossie Fox Shop. He's so cute. He's got the little cat and the little ghosties. He's so cute. I'm just going to open a drawer, and I'm going to deposit these in a drawer, because I'm going to have to move this pile of stuff that I've been putting next to me very soon. So there's a Mojo. So this is the Bella Filipina that I mentioned that's going to go on that banana oil fabric. So this one's a Aduja, but she's got like those yellows and stuff, and like that's going to be gorgeous on that yellow mottled fabric. It's going to be so good. So I grabbed that. Those were from that one. Was a little fall bell jar from Tiny Modernist. So I grabbed another one of these because I did do... Actually, I think that was in that 5-month period too. I did do the Fall Harvest, Autumn Harvest, the online retreat by Lindy Stitches. I didn't do Jingle Ball because I don't do Christmas. But I did do the autumn one, and I did get some patterns there. I don't remember which ones. Again, it's been a time. But I did also get this Lola Crow one, Murder in the Pumpkin Patch. And I have a fabric in mind for that one that's going to be a little wild, unsurprising. And then I got some patterns from Mojo Stitches as well. So I got this one, There Are No Ordinary Cats. I'm going to actually stitch this if I've got any left. Way back in the day, pretty sure I have heaps left. Way back in the day, I got a custom floss done by Fiberlicious. That was in Illidan's colors, like in the same colors as his fur. I'm gonna do that instead of the black cat. But I got that one. I got this series as well. So these are very much outside of what I would normally stitch, but I have literally, like, I looked at these for so long last year at the retreat, because she had stitched models of them, and they look so good with the Cottage Garden threads and everything, and every time I go onto the Cottage Garden Threads website, I'm looking at them, and I want to buy them, so I just thought, fuck it, I'll just do it. So I got the winter, this one is summer, I got spring, and I got autumn. I don't have the flosses for these because I'm going to go through what I've got already and then just grab the ones that I don't, rather than like buy all of them again. And then I also got the sugar glider, which is very cute. There was a stitched model of this one, I believe, and it was also like, it was very much what I needed. Now these two bags are not from the retreat. These ones I ordered from Tammy at Color Cascades. So first one's bats on the outside, rainbow zipper. The zipper has a little bat on it as well, and it's galaxy on the inside. And on the back, batshit crazy. Because, yeah. And then I got this one, which is fairy floss, which, fun fact, one of my favourite foods ever, fairy floss. And I will demand that it's made with the correct sprinkles. There are correct sprinkles to make fairy floss with. But then it's got spiderweb on the inside, and on the back, the crafter. I got those, and I got some fabrics from Tammy as well. I actually have two of these at the moment because I was given one as part of my Kris Kringle, so one of these is going to go to a friend of mine. But I managed to track down the Witchy Stitching book, and I managed to get this before it officially released in Australia. There was a bookstore that was getting them from the States before the release date. So I have that, and I plan to stitch some stuff out of it. It's going to be plastic noises. So fabric from Tammy. So this is Aurora in 18 count Ada. That is nowhere near as vibrant as it is in real life. It is showing much more muted, but that is a really nice fabric. Plastic noises. I haven't taken these out and fixed them up yet, because I will generally do that. That bag I can leave out. So this one is Black Hole Sun, and it's 18 count. Black Hole Sun's honestly one of my favorite colorways. Again, it's showing muted here, and a bit lighter than it actually is in real life. But it is gorgeous. And then this one is Bitter Fruit. Also 18 count. 18 count's my sweet spot. Pretty much everything I get will be 18 count. So that is this one. Oh my god, that is washing out so much. It is darker than it is showing. It's a little bit more accurate, but yeah. So that one is Bitter Fruit, 18 count. I usually just get like the 13 by 17s, but because Tammy has changed the way that she dyes, and like she does the sort of dyed and ready to send stuff more now, it just depends on what size she's got. So now we go back to Retreat Hall, This one was a project bag that was in the sort of retreat bag, like the goodie bag. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And it's nice and thick and sturdy too, which is nice. It's like a lovely green on the inside. And then I also bought some more from the person who made this one. I want to say it's Little Cozy Props. Off the top of my head, so I got some more bags. So I got some of these little ones because I want to get some more that are good for like carrying like little projects around. And it's got a little cat on a broom with a keyring. And I got frogs because I like frogs, and it's got a little key on it. The inside is just plain white for that one. This one's a slightly larger one, but it's gorgeous. And this has got a little raven on it. And that's just grey on the inside. But they're really nicely made. Definitely recommend her bags. And then I bought 2 bigger bags. So these got like the top zip on them. Super bright orange on the inside. These ones are by Rose Crafty Corner, who is also on Flosstube. And she's also making me a couple of extra bags. She got home and, well, I pestered her about some of the fabrics that she had in the bigger bags than this size. Because I believe this is her small size bag. But she had some other Halloween fabrics that I really liked that she only had in the bigger ones. So she got home and she checked out what she had, and she just sent me basically all of the Halloween fabrics that she had, and I was like, oh yeah, like, I'll take that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. So I have this one. And then I also have another one with that bat fabric. I really like that bat fabric. And then that has got grey, blue on the inside. So then I have some fabrics as well that I got from Paddock Lane. And I got these 2 fabrics that I got off eBay. So these are kind of wild. This one looks like a 14 count. Look at that. They were really cheap too. So I'm pretty sure these are like probably done with shaving cream. And then this one. That one is not picking up as clear as it should, but it's like super green and like mottled. So into it. They're a little stiff, which is why I think they've been done with shaving cream. But they should turn out quite good. Put a little piece on them. And then back to retreat. We're going all over the place. We're not organized. This is Paddock Lane's. So these are all Paddock Lane fabrics. These are all 18 count. This is Veronica May. Now, I don't know if that's a V or a W, but it's Veronica May Raw or Rav. But it is a super mottled blue-grey. It's really pretty. I think I maybe like weird fabrics, just a little. This is a piece of the October Fabric of the Month. I'm not part of the Fabric of the Month club, but there was a piece in the shopping that is washing out quite a lot. That's a little better. It's a little more pink than red. A little more pinky purple. But that's a really nice one as well. And I got a piece of Opal Ada. So this is Spearmint. And that is coming up way more blue. It is genuinely like a mint green. And it's sparkly. also 18 count. And this one's a 16 count. This is the only piece of 16 count that I got. And this is Nebula, right? Is that what I just read? Yep, Nebula. And again, it's kind of washing out. It's got like a grey with a pink and an orange. Apart from that, I did get some, I've gotten some digital stash. Oh god, itchy eye. So, apart from the physical stash, I have gotten a few new patterns. As you've probably heard, Thread Geeks are getting rid of a whole bunch of their patterns. They're discontinuing a whole bunch of stuff, and as such, they are retiring a whole bunch. They do, however, at the moment have a buy 5 for the price of 2 on PDFs. So I bought 10. I bought 10 yesterday. Oh, and the other bit of stash, which kind of goes into plans. I'm all over the place. So I'm doing Whip Warriors. So this is something that Paddock Lane runs. And I'm doing the Stitch Anything You Want one. I'm not doing one of the focus ones. And I'm definitely not doing no starts. This year has tested me significantly. And I am probably going to go into the new year still relying on serotonin from starts. So I don't want to limit what starts I can make. I have, however, made plans. So we have all of my whips, although I do need to take 2 of them out because Autumn Ghosts and Autumn Ghosts and the... Do I have the other one on here? Yep. And the Noctiflora one are both on here. And they are now done. But as we can see, I want to get some projects finished. I want to get some of the... that way. I want to get some of my full coverage to some more milestones. I haven't touched Stitch for Pride in months. So I want to try and get that done and finished. Because for that one, I want to make sure that I've got time to do the learnings as well. I don't want to just stitch it for the sake of stitching it. So yeah, we are doing Whip Warriors. And then as part of, as like an offshoot of Whip Warriors, there's another stitching challenge. It's kind of like a D&D game, that I've joined in on. I'm gonna give it a go. I've joined a team, and we're gonna see how we go. But the plan is to try and get some more stitching in, and get some more progress on larger projects for next year. So yeah, we're doing Whip Warriors, and I'm gonna do that instead of Whip Go. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. All right. So now I'm gonna get into some life stuff. It is gonna be a bit heavy, so there is your warning. As we can see, I have Arthas in the background. Illidan is no longer with us. So, yeah. Whew. Just immediately. Okay, so I had a really rough couple of weeks where it started off with the end of a long-term relationship. And that was, that was rough for different kind of reasons. But it ultimately did feel like a big weight off my shoulders, and I was, when I was processing, I was dealing okay, despite some of the things that person said to me, that would suggest otherwise. So I was processing, I was dealing, getting through it, and then 3 days later, one of my oldest and closest friends died unexpectedly. So that changed very quickly. I'm still very much processing that too. We're gonna do this. See, this is also part of why I didn't put a face on, because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to talk about this without crying. And the last thing I want is to just like be pulling like some weird crying mascara type deal on the internet. We're trying not to be a mess. So that happened. Took some time to sort of process that and everything. Had a couple of weeks for the funeral. Had the funeral. That was my first ever actual funeral that I've gone to. So that was a kind of a lot, and it was a lot to process. I had to have a moment. So 2 days after the funeral, Illidan had been acting fine and normal throughout the day. Got up, had dinner, no problems. About half an hour-ish after dinner, started acting a little strange. So I was just like, nah, grab the carrier, we're taking him to the emergency vet. I'm not even gonna fuck around with this. And we did. They did a whole bunch of tests, a whole bunch of blood work and stuff. And he was anemic to a very, 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 very severe amount. The vet said that he'd likely been living with it for a while, and just showing no signs of it. We had noticed he'd been losing a little bit of weight, and we had booked a vet appointment for the following weekend, but we didn't get there. So after they did some more tests and stuff, they found that the likely cause of the anemia was FIV, which is really strange because Illidan's never had FIV. He's never tested positive for it. He has been tested for it in the past. So has Arthas, and Arthas, we're going to take him in to get him tested for it now as well. So that's going to happen in the new year when the vet is back to normal hours. So we don't know where the fuck it came from. We don't know if that is the exact cause. We don't know if Illidan's had it for a long time. We don't know if it was a recent thing. Like, we've got no idea. And because both of our cats are indoor cats, Arthas will go outside with supervision in the backyard only. He's not allowed, like, there's no other cats for him to interact with. He's fully supervised the whole time. And we're pretty good about putting, like, deterrent, like, the citrus sprays and stuff away, like, around the border of the house to keep strays and stuff away. So we don't know, like, neither of them has ever been in a fight. Neither of them have ever been sort of, injured by another cat or anything like that. We don't know where the fuck it came from. We don't know if, like I said, we don't know if it's always been there and just missed in some of those tests that were done when they were both kittens. We don't know. We just don't know. But the vet thought that was the likely cause. But unfortunately, because of the level of severity of the anemia, there was no guarantee that a blood transfusion would solve the issue. And sure enough, like, they brought him back out to us, and like he was very much ready to go. And it pisses me off because, I mean, look, he's my shadow. He was my shadow. And it sucks. It very much sucks. But also, I hate that, like, of all of the fucking traits that he picked up, he ended up as stubborn as I am when his body is doing a thing. Because he's done it, like, he's had urinary crystals a couple of times over the years, and we've had him on preventative diets ever since and everything, but he would always leave it to the last sort of moment. He would sort of like suck it up and try and like hide it, or just deal with it and not tell us that anything was wrong until it was like 11 o'clock at night. And it was super annoying. Super annoying. So I hate that he picked up the stubbornness. But yes, that has been a thing. He is home now. Like, I unfortunately didn't have the resources at the time to look at taxidermy options, because that had always been my ideal. Was to have them processed and keep their bones when they passed. Because I also thought I had another couple of years with Illidan, so yeah. And it coming right on the sort of like, it always comes in threes, right? Like, it really fucking does. Always seems to come in threes. So I was just going through too much to sort of figure out if that was something that was possible. And especially because the vet that we took him to, they charge like a holding fee while they have him. So we ended up going with cremation. We reached out to this place out in Hawkesbury, and they were actually really lovely. Another moment. Look, it's gonna happen. Like I said, he's been my shadow for 14 years. It's reasonable and normal, and that is all of the stuff that I've been looking at as like, is that like that super autistic way of just being like, I don't know if I'm grieving the right way. Am I grieving the right way? Yeah, it's a whole thing. But he's home. He's currently, we've got him in a temporary spot, on the bookcase in the lounge room, and I absolutely find myself just sort of walking past and patting him. Because the urn part and everything doesn't weird me out that much. I would have loved to have like the original plan, which was, like I said, to have his bones processed, and put him in a little glass coffin, and like get some little like Illidan warglaves and stuff, and like decorate it, and like have a sealed glass coffin for him. And that is not what it's not what I was able to organize. But yeah, I just walk past and I pat him, and I don't know, it's probably weird, but it's bringing me comfort, so yeah. Nighttime stitching is really weird now too, because like he used to sit in here with me until I went to bed at like 2 or 3 a.m., so it's just been adjusting. Arthur's has been Arthur's been pretty good. Like, Arthur's is not a very cuddly cat. And he was a little cuddly. And then what else has happened since then? I got another tattoo. I want to get myself another Illidan tattoo, because like I have this one here that I got when we adopted him. I need to get Arthur's tattoo on the other side. It's very blank over here. But I got another tattoo. There'll be a picture somewhere. But for my birthday earlier in the year, I did that ink and drink, like a paint and sip type of thing, but tattooing, and won the tattoo voucher. So I cashed that in, got a tattoo. It is a bat moth bat butterfly wasp hybrid. It's very cool. The tattoo artist was really lovely. So was actually just in general all the other artists at the studio as well. And the owner and the piercer that was there too. And yeah, I don't know if I'll get too many tattoos next year. I might look at going to a convention or two and get like something small, like little gap fillers and stuff like that. Um, you know, those little tiny ones. I'm not going to get anything big. My big sort of body modification thing for next year is that I want to get my ears sorted. So this ear is all closed up, but this ear still has a hole in it. But the hole is too big for normal earrings because I used to have both ears stretched, and I had an ex-housemate's cat get really aggro randomly one night, and he clawed my ear. He clawed this one, and ripped it out. So like it was sort of torn into, and like to heal that, you can't have the jewelry in. So it healed fully closed, and like you can feel the gap where it was torn through. But it healed completely over, so there's no hole there anymore, but you can feel where the scar tissue is for it, as well as the tear. And then on this side, you can very clearly see, like, the hole is bigger than a standard piercing. And it's just really difficult to try and re-stretch it. And because I'd have to get this one pierced, let it heal for 8 months, and then start stretching it, what I've decided I want to do is get them punched. So, similar concept to a hole punch, really. They just take a really big chunky needle and they just go right through. It sort of stretches it to a larger size straight off the bat. But it would also clear out some of that scar tissue that I have. Because it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, like many years. And I spent a good couple of years rubbing bio oil into my ears every day because bio oil can help to repair scar tissues and stuff like that. But I have reached the limit of what bio oil or any other sort of solution can do. Unsurprising now that I have a little bit more understanding of what is likely EDS. But yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. I would like to just punch out the scar tissue. That'll get them both to a symmetrical space, to a symmetrical size. I can just pop them in, and then I can focus on healing them and then growing them to whatever size I want to. Not going to be huge, but I do want my stretched ears again. So that is kind of the saving goal for next year. Now that I also have updated my computer, that is good to go. I might also look at like maybe upgrading some stuff in my photography kit, but otherwise it's just the ears that are planned for next year. Yeah, that's kind of. I didn't want to end it just on the Illidan and my friend and the grieving stuff. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. And it's been an interesting time, but we're processing, we're getting through. I will say, because normally I do normally have some seasonal depression around this time of year. That is not as much of a problem this year, which is like a sign that I've been doing a lot of work and making progress in the areas that I needed to, despite what some people say. Sorry. There's going to be little things like that because I was essentially not wanting to like air dirty laundry kind of deal, but I was basically told that I was mentally unwell during the breakup process. So the fact that I had the breakup, then had a friend, like one of my closest friends and chosen family, die, and then also lost Illidan, and we're now in Christmas New Year, and I'm still functioning, I'm processing, I'm doing all of the things. Like, it kind of is one of those things where internally, and with my housemate and everything, I'll just, randomly just be like, oh no, but I'm mentally unwell. Oh no, I'm mentally negative. Oh no, I'm too much of this. I'm too much of this. And it's still kind of in that, yes, in that processing space, but also just kind of in that, like, joking about it kind of space. Um, but without the context, like, yeah, it is just kind of what it is. But yeah, I'm functioning, I'm processing, I'm having moments, I'm letting myself have moments, and I'm doing the work and everything and coming to terms with it. We're getting there. I say as I, had to stop to cry a few times. We're getting there. It's never an easy thing. And I knew that it was gonna suck when he did go. Again, I wasn't expecting it to be for another couple of years, so that was a surprise. Um, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And that's all I can do, really. So I'll go. I'm gonna clean up this mess that I've made, which is not as bad as I normally leave everything. But it is also approaching dinner time for Arthas. No response? No reaction? Okay. It is also approaching dinner time for Arthas, and housemate will be back soon with some groceries, so I can help put some of those away. And then it'll just be editing and uploading, which is going to be a much more difficult time, seeing as I no longer have a pause button and I have to, like, stop the recording every time now, which I may need to look into something else to use for recording. But that is a later me issue. I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna do some gaming tonight. I've been playing the hell out of World of Warcraft because Legion Remix is going. Plus, one of my guildies and friends bought me the base edition of Midnight, the next expansion, so that I could join in with the housing decor stuff, purely because she wanted me to have an escape. So that was really lovely because I've ordered the physical collector's edition, but that doesn't release until March, so I don't have, like, access to the early access stuff. So she bought me the base edition and then I can just upgrade it later. But yeah, she wanted me to be able to do housing, so I've been playing the hell out of housing. It is all I've ever wanted for World of Warcraft. It was just a space to put all of my stuff, except now I have to actually go and find all of the stuff to put in the space. And it is very expensive. And I did not do enough preparing for that, so I have to do a lot of farming of, like, old school resources and currencies and stuff like that. It's a lot. It's also made me realize just how many expansions I have not maxed out all of the professions across the board. So there's a lot of stuff to do, but remix first. And then we can go from there. But I'm going to go do some more adulty stuff, do some editing, get this uploaded, and I will see you sometime next month. Oh wait, one more thing. Next month, being January 2026, there is going to be a virtual retreat put on by Paddock Lane Designs, which is the Great Australian Shindig. It's going to be on our Australia Day weekend. Um, I don't support Australia Day, but I will, I will do a stitchy retreat. And it is an online retreat. So, I mean, anyone can join from anywhere, you just got to buy a ticket. But it is something that does support and feature Australian designers and suppliers and stuff. So that is the goal. That is a good thing. And that is definitely something that we can use to cleanse the weekend. But yes, that is on the Paddock Lane Designs website. I'll put a link in, but if you're free on that weekend, it's like I want to say off the top of my head, it's like the 26th. Let's have a look. Yes, I think it's gonna be the weekend before, which is like 24th, 25th. I'll double check, but it'll all be down below anyway. But yes, that is coming up in the next few weeks, which is wild to think about that it's already fucking 2026. I don't know what the last half of this year was, but it's been a time. We are. Oh, I have a gig on that Wednesday. I need to take time off work. Okay, I'm gonna put that in tomorrow. Will I remember? No, I'm gonna put it in my calendar so I remember to take time off work for next month. Towards the end of the month, because I have a gig on a Wednesday night. It starts at like 6:30. So I'm gonna have to finish early or just take the day off. Might just take the day. Yeah, well, I'm gonna stop rambling and squirreling all over the place. Hopefully things are going well wherever you're at with things. Hopefully life is not too life. And cuddle all of your pets. Do it every goddamn day. Every day.